Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. This is the Chronicles of Apple from the Apple of My Eye, and welcome to the cafe. So anyhow, I'm going over the Royal Transgender, which is pretty much, I'm going to cover this to kind of show to people because people are very curious about this. I did not believe any of the transgender stuff that was being shown to me. I honestly find them laughable, and I was thinking they are so ridiculous people are actually watching this. They had been exposing some of these things since maybe 2015 or 2014 maybe, but I never come across it. I just never took any I didn't ever believe it, okay, because I've seen so many people in bikini, and I'm assuming that whatever I see on television, those are all women, and they are my concept of a beautiful woman. However, given the fact that I do have a background in anatomy, I'm very good with anatomy. Most of the patients I handle are a bunch of nerve problems, and I did a lot of back patients as well. I know how women and men's back look like, and so I honestly did not believe any of these people saying that this is a man, this is a man, this is a man. However, what did make me blink a lot is when I took a look at when they were showing Kate Middleton. When I saw Kate Middleton, the first time, I honestly believe that this is a gorgeous woman, model type. Because when you think about a model type, most of the model type are either transgender or they are just transvestites, okay? My patients eventually clarified to me that she knew from a while back, so there's a lot of people back, and these are people in their 80s, they knew that almost all the models back in her days are all men. In fact, she said that we all knew they're men. In fact, that's why they came up with the shoulder pads, because they started using real women as part of their modeling, runway. And these women had such slopey shoulders that they had to put the shoulder pads. And she said that is not an unusual thing. We've always known that they are really men. And this is before, transgendering men had been common. Okay, so now take a look at Kate Middleton. This I looked at it and I'm like, okay, that's a dude. I cannot believe it. I was in shock. Like, I never want to accept it. But the rib cage is the same as a guy, a long rib cage here and a small pelvis and a wide shoulder. I didn't believe it. I could not believe my eyes because I always saw this person in clothing. Now, this here, as you can see, this person is taller, and you can see that the torso of this person is very long. So you go from here to there, and here is Harry. I am not good at transvestigating the female to male. They say that they can be transgendered in utero, and they can give them all kinds of gonadotrophic or all kinds of hormonal growth factors. Okay, I am not sure, but this is definitely a higher waisted male. Okay, if you consider this a male. The thing that fascinated me here is that look at how there is absolutely no curving on the body of this skinny, quote-unquote, woman. Now, take a look at, I can't compare my body because I am shorter, but when I look at a lot of tall women that I know for a fact are real women, I see that the skinnier they are, the more I see their back curve, okay? It is not that hard to see their back curve. Now, this is the back they had everybody believing is a female back. That's not a female back. I know that because I work with people's backs. I eventually did not really trust it, and I said, okay, the only way to really do it is to look at the out-and-out elite transgender. I'm going to take a look at them and look at the body and see if it has a consistency. So I looked at a lot of transgender elite. Okay, they're a very beautiful model. And these people were doing all the runways. And then I looked at their body in bikini. I looked specifically only at the back. I don't care about the face because I knew that the face can be changed drastically. Okay, so here is the front and the back. Is this her? It's hard to tell, but okay. And I'm like, that's a male, another male back. Okay, whenever you see this long torso, see how there's the waist, very, very low-waisted, okay? And this is where, okay, the sit bones are here. So if you're looking at a whole profile of this person, it's very long. Here we go, sitting, and you can see that why is Kate looking as tall as this guy? Okay, so this is again an anomaly, a huge anomaly. You could look it up on the, just look at the under images. You can see that the waist is very low. The torso, and it's even leaning, is very long. As tall almost as this, okay? So even if this one is leaning, it is very odd that they would be almost the same height seated, because we know that his legs are longer, and you can tell. But these are shorter legs, very, very long torso. So when you add it all up, and here is the picture, okay, it's a very straight back, very small pelvis, very wide shoulder, okay? It does have the appearance of a female face, okay? But we do know some men, okay, that okay, this has a very male feature right here. I was in shock to see this because, and also the way this person is wearing pants, it does not show any Q angle, no Q angle whatsoever. It's just like how a dude would wear their pants. There's just way too many things going on. Again, this is not, look at the trachea, is very large, and you can see how the legs are being crossed, and there's already a sway, but it did not prove any curve. And these are very small breasts, and they're hormonally grown. So again, the waist is very low. The torso is very tall. It's a very big trachea, a very square face, a very squarish chin, and the small, the nose, they lift up the nose to make it look more girly. I have had 3 co-workers that were also transgenders, so I can see one of them did not look like a man at all. I had very nice legs, actually, and I was quite impressed at this person's legs that it took me a year to figure out that this person is transgender. Some people only found out because when this person went and clocked in, it showed a male name, and the person is Filipino. Also, the breast tissue here, as you can see, not just very symmetrical, it's got that split right in the center. Okay, it's got the split in the center. The sister is highly questionable. As you can see, the abs are very flat, and the estrogen does not have an effect, and these are very low riding bikini. Women cannot just put their bikini like that, it will fall down. Also, you don't see any Q angle off the bat. No Q angle, no real pelvis going on. There's no widening of the pelvis taking place. The shoulder's quite large, and you've got this, symmetrical boob that is just very, this can grow on a man with estrogen, okay? So you can see that it's a fairly muscular looking body, very lean. The motion that you see here is not proving a very feminine figure at all. As you can see there, it's just like a man, moving. You might as well have David, the naked picture of David pose right there. Again, we had been so trained to think that these are women's figure. As you can see, the clavicle is very straight. It's a square face, very small, little to no, okay, real curves going on. And we are trained to think that these are sexy because they use them for a lot of porn. Very long torso. Very long torso. Okay? Now, the butt, they can fool people. These people have money. Okay? These people have money and they are trained from the time they are children. There's another one where you can see the Adonis belt. There's an Adonis belt there. As you can see, this person all of a sudden looks almost as tall as the husband. Now, this was very painful for me to believe because I honestly prayed for their wedding. I believe that these were regular male and female having a royal wedding, and I was so enamored by this idea that I was like, oh, wait, great, you know. It did not ever dawn on me that there is such a thing as elite transgender at the time. So this is part of my investigation, and this has been done before. So I'm not the first one mentioning this, but people are curious, and I'm like, okay, I'm going to bring it up. You know, I'm going to bring it up. The way to explain why the shoulder is taking this particular effect on a man is that the clavicle of a man sticks out further. When you have a clavicle that sticks out further, you're going to have a wider shoulder and it will dangle down. So you've got this here. So let's say this, right? On a female shoulder, you've got the slant, okay? And you've got this, okay, typically. Now, if I were to be skin and bone, it might dangle more. But generally speaking, there are fats that takes place here, and it pushes the shoulder slightly out, okay? Now, if you're skin and bone, it might fall in. Now, the other thing is that the torso of most females, the torso, okay, so here's our pelvis, and here's your shoulder. They're relatively equal. So we have this curve going on here. Now, even if I were to lose a lot of weight, you are going to see it more because this is bone here, okay? So the shoulder of a man sticks out more, so you have a longer arm automatically. So you can see that. It will be longer, okay? So if my pelvis is this small, okay, which I have to cock it to give it that smaller pelvis here, okay? So when this is out like this, my hand will dangle out to the side. And that's what we see in most men. Their hand will dangle out to the side and it will come out longer. Okay? Because again, the clavicle will stick out. On a regular female, it goes in like this. It's a sloppier. And the fat over here and the fat over there is going to make it stick out. So now we have an angle of an arm that comes out. And we have there's an angle here, okay? And there's also an angle going on here. So a woman, here's the bone. Here's the bone. It's going to go in, okay? Because this is why. People have shown this repeatedly, but this is what I'm saying. Like, this was a shock to me when I came to a realization about these Kate Middleton. And this is not something that I enjoyed. I was absolutely unhappy about it. I looked and looked at all the transgender body, and I'm like, oh my God, it looks just like this. I mean, there is no other way. Between what I know of a male body and what I have seen, there is no way you can say that this particular look is a female body. Women, when we lose weight, do not have this figure. Tall women will not have they're not going to grow their torso unnecessarily, and they are not going to have they're still going to have a curve going in. There's a curve going in here, and then a curve going in there, and the rib cage is shorter. Wherever that rib cage ends is where the waist starts. So generally speaking, when a woman is standing, because of the slopey shoulder, this is higher. This tends to be higher. It goes in. A skinny people, it goes in more. It's very obvious. Now you have some people that are kind of a little bit on the muscular side. Muscular one would have an even greater. Muscular people will have an even greater curves. Okay? Because the musculature is feminine. Now, the thing that I've observed is that when women really do a lot of bodybuilding, they will lose their breasts. But you will still see the rib cage as feminine and their back still goes in. And it will go in exaggeratedly because of all the muscles getting pumped. It has a certain ratio different from those of men. One thing they cannot copy is that they cannot break the bone and spine of these boys to make it look like women. They can only transgender them early, which stunts their growth. Therefore, we have what you call the, when you look at jazz, okay, these are arrested development. They are not letting the male body go into full puberty. They stop, sometimes even before the prepubescent age. They usually like to harvest their gonads for experimentation and quote-unquote so that they could have children. But it's all going to be through in vitro. If you see the pregnancy of this person, you will not see too much body weight gain. If they try to simulate that, they give them steroid to make them puffy. However, if they just want to wear the moon bump, they're just going to wear the moon bump. And you will see that it will only take them about 3 months to kind of fool the world. They do it shorter and shorter, and they make it look like, oh, they're in hiding, or they're taking a break, or they're on vacation, but they are faking their pregnancy. This is something that they will not tell anybody. It's a fraternity. These are Masons. I saw one picture where I even saw a Masonic emblem right on Kate Middleton. Again, I don't hate these people, but I'm just giving you my observation. Kate Middleton is one of the Royal Transgender. Thank you so much, and God bless.